And we are live. Welcome to the Political Orphans. My name is Nico Lagan. To my left, my co host, Rob Ambrose. And together with our audience, we've created a space where people from all political affiliations can come together and have a civil conversation and try to find solutions to the problems that we face every day. Here are the topics for today. Trump ban flag burning in the US. An LCBO in Kitchener, Ontario is robbed in the middle of the day. Pierre Poilievre and Daniel Smith speak immigration. As per an expert, Canada cannot send troops to Ukraine. We can't incarcerate our way out of violence, says the mayor of Chicago. Alberta seeking public input on establishing nuclear power. Dr. Oz says that BC ostriches should be safe and may have valuable avian flu secret. And finally, this one's for you, UK to implement a spare bedroom tax. Get your
Oh, they what?
So starts now. You know what, bro?
Oh,
This is my new goal. If I can make you like, what the are you talking about? I've done my job.
That is wild, man. What's next? Fucking a messy bedroom tax. They got
maybe
that is wild.
It's not gonna be an ugly people tax in the UK.
Well, yeah, everyone would pay it if the Brits.
Time for a concubine. Nice. Yeah. Let me get rid of what I got. Today, 12:30, we have Julian Figueroa, the guy that ate
the bugs guy.
But bugs for 30 days. Join us. We, as an FYI, Jason Leving and myself has started a new live show on Saturdays, 9 to 11. It's a mashup. We're gonna have a bunch of people. Rob hopefully will join us. So it starts this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. Goddamn, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. to whenever it finishes. But mashup, relaxed environment. Bring your drink. Bring your cigars. Bring your joints. Whatever floats your boat. But it's gonna be a relaxed one with a bunch of people. We got some news. Rob and I took a decision yesterday that starting on Sunday, Sunday, we are going to move the show from 12 to 2 to 8 to 10 p.m. at night, Eastern time, Sunday to Thursday. For multiple reasons. One, we're ready for prime time because obviously running the show at 12 is limited in the reach. It's gonna make my job a lot easier dealing with a kid, so I'm gonna be able to help my wife more during the day since I'm not gonna be preparing for this show most of the morning. And I don't know what good it does, Rob, but hey,
no, it's better for my schedule too. Just clears up the day more.
There you go. It's messed up, to do it like to break your day like this.
Yeah, because it's 1 to 3 my time. So you kind of, if you got something to do in the morning, you got to rush back, and if it's in the afternoon, you can't do it till 3:30 or so.
So hopefully you guys are gonna follow us. You're gonna move to the night with us, and I think our format is better suited for a pseudo late night show.
I think it'll do better.
No questions about it. Every single time we record it in the evening, it does so well. So
always,
I believe that this is the right move to do. That's it. Those are my announcements. But
housekeeping,
guys, let us know what you think in the comment section if you think we're idiots. But
will you guys be joining us over there, or are you strictly daytime listeners? Hopefully, we get most of you guys.
Most of the people, I see them when I record with.
Exactly right. So
with Creighton on Wednesday, so I'm not too worried about it. Late night show,
because it's better.
It's gonna be it's gonna open up to a more massive audience.
So. I think so too. Wise guy says spare bedroom tax. WTF? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's crazy, man.
It's they started talking about it over the weekend. I completely forgot about it, and this morning I was just scrolling. I'm like, oh, because again, I'm gonna try. I've been trying to find something ridiculous to talk about every show, like something that is just like really,
Yeah,
really,
yeah. Well, that's a good one.
really take.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Is it just literally what it sounds like? It's just if you have a spare bedroom, you get taxed. Oh man.
And you know what the next thing is? You're gonna get a tax break if you invite migrants in your bedroom.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
That's
They
what
won't,
I see the next step is, right?
they won't. Oh, yeah. I bet that's exactly what it is.
Uh-huh.
I bet that's exactly, yeah. Because they're trying to convince people to take them in. Like they won't, they won't take them in, but they're come on, do the right thing, do the right thing. UK's got UK's going through some stuff right now. It seems like that there's this movement of people spray painting or raising the St. George's flag or the UK flag everywhere, and now all the local politicians are calling them far right, of course, right, saying like, oh, the flag has been co-opted by the far right, but there's nothing far right about them. They're just literally raising flags, mostly because they're being told they can't. So, of course, if you tell people you can't raise your flag, but you have to kneel and pay fealty to the Palestinian flag, every other flag of every other nation, people are going to say, no, it's bullshit. I'm not doing that. And so they're going out and raising flag as civil disobedience. And of course, the media and a lot of the politicians are smearing them as far right, which once you smear someone as far right, you can do whatever you want to them because no one cares about the far right, but at least not.
Yeah, but it's rising
in the elites.
Yeah.
And there's nothing far right whatsoever about flying the flag of your home country.
No. 100% not.
No.
But this is the perfect segue for the story you wanted to talk about, which is Trump banning flag burning in the U.S. Because now you have two complete opposite.
Yeah.
One, like you're painted far right for displaying your flag. Now the right wants to ban flag burning. And I'll let you play the video before I give my opinion on this one. But
just give me 1 second. I have to re-sign in for some reason. It'll just take me a sec. But yeah, it's actually a great juxtaposition because on the one, because I disagree with both, right? The people should be completely free to fly whatever flag they want, but no one should be criminalized as well for here we go, for burning a flag. Like it's an act of speech.
I want to see it. I want to see it, just like I said about Hitler. I want people to feel so comfortable doing and saying all the dumb stuff they can so that I know who I'm dealing with. This is what's beautiful about social media. People think they can say whatever they want. This is not, you're not like this because you're on social media. You're like this in real life. It's just you get to do it on social media because you don't have to face the consequences of your actions, which I absolutely love. Expose to me who you are. I want to know people are. So burn flags if you want to. I'm not saying I agree with you burning a Canadian flag.
I never.
But I want you to be able to do it.
Of course,
I want
you
to be able.
You have to. It's it's free speech or you don't have it. So here's Trump.
Lastly, sir, this is an executive order on flag burning. It charges your attorney general.
Would you listen to this? This is very important. Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision. They called it freedom of speech, but there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy. If you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. You could do other things. You can burn this piece of paper. But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. In a way, both ways. There are some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about them doing it. Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does, sir, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, and instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they?
Yeah, incitement is.
Incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record.
Yeah.
And you will see flag burning stopping.
But I'm not even
just
sure
like
Trump
when I signed
knows
the
what's in this
statute
order,
and
now that I
Monument
listened to
Act.
both those
10
guys.
years in jail if you hurt any of our beautiful monuments. Everybody left town. They were gone. Never had a problem after that. It's pretty amazing. We stopped it. But this is something that's, I don't know, in a certain way, it's equally as important. Some people would say it's more important. Because the people in this country don't want to see our American flag burned and spit on. And
There's only another
but people that
30
are,
seconds left.
in many cases, paid agitators. They're paid by the radical left to do it. You talk to these people, they don't even know, half of them don't even know what they're doing. They say, I don't know, they gave me money to do this. I see the same things that you do. They're bad people. They're trying to destroy our nation. That's not working, because I think our nation now is the most respected nation anywhere in the world by far. You saw that with the European leaders. On Friday.
Okay, so yeah, he's just gonna go on.
You can stop.
Yeah, he's doing his Trump thing there.
So 1 year. So basically, if we resume what I heard, 1 year if you burn the American flag, 1 year in prison.
Okay, so I could not disagree more. That's crazy. However, when the guy who seemed like either a lawyer or the guy who wrote the bill, because Trump asked him what was in it, remember he asked, like, did you put the incite the riot in there? He seemed like the way he described it was, if you burn the flag and then there's criminal behavior because of that, story. That's not crazy. But Trump seems to, the way Trump's talking, he thinks if you burn a flag like in your front yard and then go in your house that you're going to jail. But by the way that other guy described it, no, I definitely don't agree with that. The way the other guy described it seemed like it's more of a what's the word? Not a mitigating factor, but the other one where it makes it worse. But
it's like something that will trigger an investigation.
Yes.
If you're the type that's burning flags, that might be an instance where they're like, maybe we should check into what you do exactly after that.
And if that leads to then yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's reasonable. I get that. But just the way Trump described it,
litigating factor. Yeah.
Is it litigating? Because mitigating is when it makes it better for you, but the one is where it makes it worse.
The way I understood it, and I might be completely mistaken, but the way I understood is Trump's thinking 1 year in prison if you burn a flag. That's messed up. I disagree with it.
Yeah.
But the other gentleman that was speaking was saying he made it sound like this would be something they look for. If we see people burning flags and that flag burning led to disobedience, to having a protest started by that, like it incited violence.
Yep.
That's one thing. The flag burning in itself should not be the problem. But should it be an indication that there might be a problem, an upcoming problem? That I agree with. This is something you should have always looked into. And especially, like I've said before, especially in immigrants. If you're in the US or in Canada, I'll call it North America. If you're in North America and you're burning flags of the country that you are a visitor in, that should be an indication to be deported. If you are a permanent, but even a permanent resident, if you're a permanent resident of Canada and you're burning Canadian flags, I don't want you here. You clearly don't have any respect for Canada, but that doesn't mean I want to ban flag burning, because I want to know. I want to know. Again, I want to see what people are truly made of, and people will only expose themselves when they feel secure, they feel safe to do so. And there was a great comment. There was a great comment that actually. Oh, there you go. Derek Styler saying, why would you stop your enemy when they're in the process of proving themselves as an idiot? That's my point exactly. I want people to feel the need to burn flag. If that's what you want to do, I want you to feel so confident in doing it that you're going to do it. Now, should that be an indicator that maybe you're problematic? Yes.
Yeah. And the word I was looking for was aggravating factors. As in, yeah. So I think the way he described it, that's what it sounded like to me. It will be, if a riot or some criminal behavior comes as a result of it, the fact that you burn the flag will be considered an aggravating factor. And then, you'll get the year. And that, I can't say I would make that executive order if I were president, but it's not nearly as bad as Trump's version there.
But I don't like banning. I don't like the bans of anything. That always bothers me. You better have a foolproof reason for wanting to ban something.
A very good one, yeah. Yeah,
100%. Not that I want to go down that rabbit hole with you, but that's the only thing that comes up to mind now. Surgeries, like transitioning surgeries on kids, that should be completely banned. There are things like you shouldn't drink and drive. That should be banned.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like there's things that are logical, but because
they harm society at large, right? Yeah.
Well, they're just damaging to either the person because they don't know any different. There's a good reason why they don't want kids to be drinking.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Because they don't know any better. And I can guarantee you, I started drinking, I was 14 years old. And when I say drinking, I was an alcoholic by 15. So I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had no idea. I completely destroyed my life for years.
When did you get out of that? That's crazy.
Early 20s.
Wow.
Oh, bro, I was a high school dropout. I dropped out of high school. I was 15. I was selling drugs to support my habits. And I was not a good kid, man.
Teenage dirtbag.
I was a dirtbag until I was an early 20s.
Yeah.
Some would argue that I still am, just a different type.
And just before we move on, I wanted to play one other quick video. It's only 20 seconds. It made me laugh when I was looking for a video of that.
It's desecration.
Oh, Hillary Clinton.
So I hope, Mr.
This is from 1996. Let's hear what Hillbot has to say.
So I hope, Mr. President, that we can pass a law that criminalizes flag burning and desecration. I agree that this burning, this desecration that can happen to our flag is something that people have a right to ask this body to try to prohibit and prevent.
So Donald and Hillary together again.
Together again.
Yeah. I thought that was
Has
funny.
she spoken about it? Have you checked if she's
No, actually I haven't checked recently, but that would be fun. I'm sure she's against it, of course.
That would be the first thing. As you showed that, I'm on her X account right now.
Yeah.
So
okay.
let's
check
see
it out.
if she talks about it, because that would be hilarious.
That would be really funny.
But that would be Clinton 101 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was always a defendant of women power, yet she defended her husband against sexual abuse cases time and time again by destroying the woman in court. So very ironic. It's just, it sounds good on a microphone. I don't think, no, she's not talking about it.
Yeah, she's not that dumb.
Or she doesn't post much.
Yeah. Oh, it's probably not even her posting.
No, of course not. Of course not posting.
Yeah, Wise Guy says we'll take a few comments and we'll move on. He says maybe this new law is a way to catch illegals. After all, what kind of people burn flags? Then instead of jail, deport them. I mean, look, if in the current climate, if you are illegally in this country and you're out there burning flags, you need to be deported just because you're too dumb. You're too dumb to be here, if nothing else. Because that's crazy stupid.
That's funny, man.
Yeah. So this is off topic, sorry. But he says, have either seen the video of the Canadian-born Indian chastising the trucking industry corruption?
Yes.
Oh, did you see
that? Yes, I have. There's multiple of them. Really? the case he's talking about, right?
The one down in Florida?
Yes.
So the guy who killed those two people.
Ignited. Did you know that they have? Last time I checked, it was something
like
stupid,
3 million or something.
2 million.
It's like
what?
It's at least it's over 2 for sure. It's definitely.
Yeah. I was going to say 1.5 to 2, but it's how insane that like people are giving money.
Every other
guy should have taken behind the shed right then and there, like no question asked. You did this? Are you kidding me? You killed 3 people, bro. And
Well,
this
yeah.
ain't an accident. You did something illegal. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take my firearm and start shooting in front of me, see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly
no,
right. Like, no, he
no.
was, he was, yeah, no, that was really, I mean, it's a crime. 3 people died. There has to be accountability for that. Like,
Yes.
people are saying like, oh, it was an accident. Well, yeah, lots of things are accidents. Those horrific stories you hear once in a while where a parent goes in the store and somehow accidentally forgets their kid and the kid dies a horrific death in the heat or something. That was an accident, and they still get charged with manslaughter. That's how the law works, right? If you're if you do something negligent and someone dies, you will be held accountable. Now they're talking about 45 years. That sounds that sounds a bit much to me.
Isn't the guy not even an American?
He might, I believe. Oh no, he's not. He's not. I don't. He's definitely
No.
not. He's definitely not from here.
Deport.
Oh, yeah.
Deport.
Without question.
I don't. You being in jail here. Why? Why are we wasting resources on you?
Yeah.
Deport. No questions about it. Deport. But I don't think, unlike you though, let's say that was an American, like an American citizen. 45 years is not enough.
You think?
Be able to get up? Oh no.
I think 10.
You knew
20.
exactly what you were doing. There's a guy that did that just this morning. I'm coming back from the gym, and there's a mill, not a mill. There's a place that makes cement between here and the place and it's right off a main street. It's the weirdest thing, but it must have been there before everything developed around it. But there's trucks there all the time, right? They turn left, they go in, and then they go around, they come back in a smaller street a bit further. But the guy, he had 18-wheeler, he had a full 18 behind him again, so he was double, like he had a double stack.
Okay.
And cuts in right in the middle of traffic. Like people are coming, and like it's a street that's like 60 or 70. And people are just coming. The guy just cuts in front of everybody. We all had to stop. What would happen if somebody just, for a fraction of a second, you just don't look for a fraction of a second. You're just looking to merge on the left side.
It happens.
Because you're looking at your angles. You want to merge. You turn around. You hit the brake. Can't do it. And you know that, as you saw in that video, it's right at the right.
Right at the head.
Me, in my truck. Oh, bro, I'm getting decapitated. Like I'm out.
The reason
like
every single truck has like a little bar underneath the back, because that's what people were getting killed like crazy, because that's exactly at head height. So
decapitated.
The bar makes it, if you hit them from the back, then the bar hits the front of your car. It's just a normal accident. But yeah, the way they hit on the side like that, there would be no protection. They would just cut decapitate them.
But what I'm saying is that the guy did it, no questions asked, did not care. Just
apparently
cut
doesn't speak
everybody
English.
through.
He doesn't know road signs.
Oh no, but that's a different story. I'm just saying that guy.
Oh, you're talking about the guy? Yeah, okay. You're talking
the guy I saw this morning did it right in front of me, and I'm just like, I was thinking he didn't do anything illegal. He just cut people through.
Negligence.
Technically, but that was negligence. But what the guy did was illegal, completely illegal, because he used one of those turnover.
No U-turns. Yeah.
Yes, that's meant for towing. That's meant for
police,
law enforcement, first responders. But he was not. And man, he did it from the right lane, merged into the left, turned over. But think about it. He
didn't even look. He didn't even look.
But that's not what the problem is. He could have done it on both sides, because the truck is so long. You're taking the two ways on both sides of the highway. So by the time he's merging, that guy's blocking 4 lanes of traffic with people that are going 100, 110 kilometers per hour. I had, years ago, I'm coming back from fights in Toronto. I'm coming back to Ottawa. We're on the highway. I'm doing like 145. I get clamped at 140, 145 by the police. I'm on the side of the highway. I'm like, that one is gonna suck.
You got me. I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Nothing. I have no excuse.
But so you had 2 cop cars, right? Yeah. They're both in the side, but one's kind of hidden with the gun, and he's just looking.
And then he calls the other one.
Yes, and I swear to you, man, I'm on the side, and I'm just I give my paper to the guy. He crosses over to the median where his car is. On his way back, I swear to you, there's a little, and it was an Asian family, like luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Stops on the highway,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
backs away, like they pass us. She stops, backs away in the right lane to talk to the police officer. The guy is about to give me back. He loses his shit. He's just, get the fuck off of the road. And he's just screaming at her to get off the road. The guy came back. I had like $120, $130 ticket with I didn't lose anything. It's just I had the smallest of tickets.
Yep.
But can you imagine? That woman saved me a lot of money. No. But imagine, you can't stop when you're at 100. I don't know if you've ever been in an accident on the highway. I have. You can't stop. There's no way for you to stop when you're going 100 kilometers per hour.
No.
And you see by the time you realize, because you're not used to it, right? Your brain doesn't realize what you're seeing. I
On the
guarantee
highway,
you that
your brain
the
kind of
people
shuts
that
off
died,
right?
no,
Yeah.
but the people that died under that car, I guarantee you that the driver did not realize what he was seeing.
I don't
in
even
his
think
head
he
is
hit
like,
the brakes.
it's
It
not
didn't look like he
possible.
hit the brakes.
No, that's what I'm saying. You cannot, in your brain, cannot understand that somebody's
What's going on?
stopping. No, not only stopping, but that woman started reversing.
That's
Woo!
that's wild. Yeah, I mean, and that's a fairly well documented phenomenon that affects pilots a lot. Like if you're just, it's just, you see something, like your instruments maybe do something that you're not expecting, your brain almost shuts down because you have a certain, there are things you are looking for, right? You are going to be looking for people coming to pass you on the shoulder or something, or in the left lane, but you're not looking for a giant ass truck, jackknifing across the highway there. And so apparently, as where was it here? Someone said he snuck in through Mexico. Apparently,
yeah. I know for a fact that the guy was not legal.
Yes,
I know that.
yeah. So he came in. He did not speak English. He did not. They gave him a road sign test. He did like 2 of 15 or something. And of course, this all leads back to California, to Governor Newsom, where because they're a sanctuary state and they have to virtue signal how amazing they are to illegal migrants, they have they give commercial truck driver's license to non-citizens, to illegal migrants. And apparently they don't have to know English and they don't have to know any stop signs. It's wild. And of course, and then you've got the 2.5 million Indians who are supporting. It's like pretty much every other like ethnic group in the West is so tribal. Like if it's their guy that did it, like they will just make excuses. Like
Mangione.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's tribal too, politically tribal.
Of course,
Luigi, right? It's their guy. Like,
Luigi,
and it's because Luigi, and it's because of the left wing mindset that the other side is not just wrong; they're evil. So anything you do to them is justified.
It's completely insane. Completely insane.
Derek Sittler says he failed his commercial driver's license testing twice before heading to California to get his. That's crazy. So you don't have to pass. You don't have to know English. You don't have to know road signs. Just go to California. Now, I bet you, though, a Native American, not a Native American, but like someone who was born in America, a white guy, would have still had to pass the road sign test and be able to speak English. But it's like once you're an illegal migrant, all standards go out the window, and we can do, you get whatever you want.
Do you think he would have been judged in the media the same way if that was not an immigrant?
Yeah,
it was a white guy,
and none of us would be defending him. We'd all like
I definitely wouldn't.
We might debate whether he should get 15 years or 40, but no one would be saying. None of us would be saying, "Oh,
release this guy.
He made a mistake. Release him." No.
Oh, no, he made a mistake. That doesn't mean you don't get to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just no accountability whatsoever.
Yeah, that Logan White's absolutely right. I saw that there's a petition to release that trucker from jail, and the list of signature and instances are the same.
Well, and that could still be legit. I mean,
I was going to say, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it actually might. Sting is a very popular.
There's a lot of Stings. A lot of Stings on this list here. A lot of Patels. It's a fraud.
Oh boy. Talking about Patels. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding, actually. There's this video I wanted to show. I don't know if you saw that. It's going crazy everywhere. I had no intentions of showing it, but I think I have to. This is LCBO Kitchener, Ontario. Middle of the day. Bunch of people are just, remember California?
Yep.
People are just showing up to Apple Store and just putting stuff in their pockets and leaving. Well, it seems like that's starting to happen in Kitchener. So that's an LCBO.
Oh, I saw, and they stopped them, don't they?
No.
Oh, I thought.
Walk out.
Oh, okay. I thought I thought I saw a video where there was some like locals trying to stop them.
They should have.
Who are these guys? Are these guys Indians? This is wild. How can you be this brazen?
Hey guys, you're on live TV, eh?
They know nothing's going to happen to them.
You know what's interesting is this. Listen to this. If you wanted to know if this was in Canada or the US.
Hey guys, you're on live TV, eh?
Hey guys,
Hey guys, look at you bunch of hosers. You're on live TV, eh?
Just in case you didn't know, this was definitely in Canada, but it's just that like the employee is right there. That looks like,
and they're probably told
to
not
me
to do
from the
anything.
LCBO.
And you know, one thing that you hear is like you hear the term low trust society or high trust society a lot lately. We had a high trust society. You know, you didn't need just little things. I can remember being like 12, like 15 or 16 years old, and my girlfriend's cousin was from Spain or something, some like ghetto in Spain. She came over, and her boyfriend, he was amazed that the McDonald's had the pop machines outside. You got the cup and you go and fill it. He was like, if they had that where I'm from, he was like, it would just be emptied. And that was kind of the first I realized, like, oh yeah, things are kind of different here. Like you don't do those things. But this is one of the negative externalities of bringing in large amounts of people who have a different culture. And you don't even need to make the argument like one is better, although obviously we have our opinions. It's just different. They're different, right? And when you bring people from a different culture to this one in huge numbers, so that it changes the demographics overnight, it is going to change the culture in ways most of us probably don't like. I don't like, and you know what's going to happen next? They're going to lock up all the alcohol, right? They're going to lock up groceries. They're going to lock up clothes. And now we have to suffer because our high trust society has been destroyed by people who are not from here. That's not right. And you're not racist if you don't like that. If you have a problem with that, that doesn't make you racist. I wouldn't care what color skin they were. Vice versa, if they came in here and adopted the same high trust values and didn't just go in there brazenly stealing shit, I wouldn't care what color they are. But yeah,
I just want to take this one because out Nashville saying down here in the South, that wouldn't fly. Somebody would stand up and shut it down. No questions asked, 100%. I got to tell you, man, I've traveled. I've done 30 states in the U.S. in the past 3 to 4 years. And man, I was in Colorado for a while. Like we probably spent 3-4 months in Colorado. And we go to this health store where they had like really good stuff, like all organic stuff, like great meat. And I go to the meat section and I'm like, hey, there's like 2-3 tiny steaks. I'm like, hey, bro, do you have anything else than that? This is not big enough. Like, yeah. What do you need? I'm like, oh, I'll take this. And I was like, yeah, no problem. It's just we can't keep it in the shelves because it is not illegal. So in Colorado, you cannot stop theft. I think it's below $1,000 American.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
You cannot touch the guy. You cannot prevent him. Like you stopping that person becomes illegal. How insane is that, right?
That's so insane. So
but
crazy.
look at California. Look how many videos there are of people going to Apple stores, like I was saying, and just putting shit in their pocket, and everybody's like, yeah, no problem.
And look how many companies are leaving California. There's a lot of them. And they're saying we're leaving for this reason. We cannot profitably operate here because theft is too, it's just California is sort of ground zero for far left woke policies run amok.
Hold on. Aaron is saying something cool here. Aaron Murphy.
Yeah.
As a former LCBO employee, I can tell you that we were instructed to let them go as legally we are not allowed to stop them. It's pure insanity. It's for our safety, but mostly for their protection.
Well, just even if like that's cool that like Aaron said that it's kind of interesting to hear from someone on the inside. But even if she hadn't, I'd have to assume there was something like that, because look how brazen those guys were. They didn't fear being caught. They didn't fear being filmed. They didn't fear anything.
There won't be any consequences.
No, there won't be. And like we don't have to live like this, right? We don't have to put up with that. Joe said,
and I would be curious if I was there and I decide to knock one out, like the first one out, I just knock him out because I don't accept this type of behavior. Am I in trouble now? Am I going to jail for assault?
Probably.
But do you see the problem?
So
you're telling me that a criminal is capable of stealing alcohol, and men, that those bottles go for a minimum $20, and one of the guys was just racking them. You could see just the way they're walking, they're full of bottles. So they stole for what? $500, $600, $700.
And LCBO is a crown corporation, an Ontario government owned corporation. Yep. So that's the taxpayer who's going to pay for that.
Of course. It is.
And do you remember the Katim, I think, the lawyer we had yesterday, when he was talking about defending your property? Remember, he said first you have to establish that it's your property. So I suspect
it's not theirs,
because that's not yours. You would be committing a crime by stopping them, even if there was some proportional or reasonable force, which of course is nonsense. And some people are like, oh, well, it's not yours, booze. It doesn't hurt you, but it does. It does hurt us, because this is our society. I wouldn't be in there with my kids, but let's say it's a Walmart. I might be in there with my kids. How do you teach them right from wrong when they see this? You know what I mean? How do you teach them stealing is wrong if they're watching it happen? Like there are absolutely negative downstream effects of this that go far beyond the cost of the booze. As Joe says, so Joe says the way to end illegal immigration is to imprison the people who hire them. Yeah, or possibly the politicians who implement these policies. I don't bear any personal ill will to any of these people. They saw the loophole being offered.
I have a problem with these people.
Those guys. Yeah, absolutely. But like
if that's why they're here.
Yes, no doubt. But just like someone who's not committing a crime, who's coming here, even like if you're illegal, I still want you not here. But I don't personally have a animosity towards you. Our leaders are stupid. They created this giant loophole and they begged the third world to come through it, and of course they did. Right? I don't personally blame them. Now, if they're committing crimes, of course that's different. But the problem is not the people who are doing it. I mean, that is the problem. But ultimately, the responsibility lies with the politicians doing these policies, and yes, the businesses and the corporations who are hiring these people.
100%. Need to be held accountable for their actions, but at the same time, we need to be able as a society to say, like those guys, for example, those guys need to be found. If they weren't born here, deport. No questions asked, nothing. And this is where we don't do. This is exactly what we don't have the balls to do. And I haven't heard anybody say this. Any politician talk to this extreme and say, you know what? If you're caught committing a crime and you're a permanent resident,
gone.
If you're not a citizen, I don't care. Even if you weren't, you know what? If you're caught doing this type of crap, and even if you're a citizen but you weren't born here, bye-bye. Yep. If you weren't born here, let me rephrase that. If you weren't born here and you're caught doing stuff like that, bye-bye. Just bye-bye. Just send them back. Put a statement together. But I agree that you need to go after the corporations that are taking advantage of that system. You need to go after the politicians that are encouraging or putting those type of policies in place. You need to find the illegals and deport them if they commit crimes, or even if they're not illegal, they weren't born here, they commit crime. Bye-bye. It's not that complicated. We just need to have consequences.
They'll say, people will be like, oh, well, there's no mechanism to strip citizenship from naturalized citizens. Okay, well, let's make one. We can do whatever we want, right? Like we can have any immigration policy that we want. There's no higher power than the federal government when it comes to immigration. And if there isn't a mechanism, then let's make one.
100%.
I think I think, I'm not talking about a speeding, a ticket or anything like that.
No, but
a crime.
This is a crime.
No. This is a crime. But I'm saying, like if someone gets a speeding ticket, I don't think they should necessarily be have their PR taken back. But if someone commits a crime, like we just watched, or anything that's in the criminal code, if they get charged with a crime, and you also have to close the loophole that prosecutors cannot refuse to charge, because if they do, they will get deported. Because we see that too, right? We see the judge there who didn't give the pedophile
but he had a but he had a modest amount. Oh no, you're talking about the guy, the Indian permanent resident that tried to buy services from a 15-year-old cop, from a 15-year-old, but it was an undercover cop. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and the judge said, I'm basically in his decision. He said, if you were whatever from here, you'd get this, but I'm not going to give you that because that might affect your immigration status. You want to affect the immigration status of pedophiles. That's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be bending over backwards to protect the immigration status of pedophiles. It's this nonsense, utter nonsense mindset that is just woke mind virus. It's the only thing you can call it.
Guys, I totally agree. This is going to become our new thing. Tammy's saying that we have a bunch of watchers that did not like, so make sure to Raja that like button. Raja
like Raja Jackson,
like that smash button, and Raja the like button. Yeah. But there was a great comment. There's a couple of great comments here. Let me just check it out here, right here. It starts right here because now that brings up a different type of problem. But Prairie is saying that police are supposed to work for the people, not Walmart or retail stores.
Sure.
Agreed. I completely agree with you. But at the same time, it connects with this right here. So Savage Lion 2021 is saying in the security industry, you can't lay hands on a person without having so many boxes crossed off unless you're in a pub or bar. And I used to do security, so I know that what Savage Lion is saying.
Bouncers are famously like, they don't give a shit. They're tossing people left and right.
A
lot of times they're extreme. A lot of times they're like excessive.
Oh yeah, but a lot of them are idiots too.
Yeah.
A lot of them are juice head, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
so
just,
like, let's be.
100%.
But I've done private security work, like at fight events and stuff like that. So I worked in bars. I also did private security. But you also need to have an understanding of what you can and cannot do. But if we agree that this cannot continue without consequences, and this is not going to stop unless there are consequences, if we don't want retail stores to be dependent on cops, that means that you need to give more leeway to people that are applying security. Just like cops, we give them leeway. We understand that they have a job to do. So we accept the fact that there are things that they need to make quick assessment, and we want to trust the judgment of police officers. We need to start doing the same thing for security agents. I've met some
benefit of the doubt ones. And if there's proof, like video, that they clearly were excessive, and we all know what excessive looks like when we see it, like, the reasonable standard can be applied very easily here.
But again, you got to be careful with that reasonable, right? We talked about that yesterday being a problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no way around it. There is no way totally around it. It's always going to be a little bit of a problem. I mean, it's the justice system is based on the reasonable doubt standard for guilty, not guilty, right? What does reasonable doubt mean? It's one of those things, you don't know it, you can't describe it, but you know it when you see it, sort of thing.
I completely agree with you, man.
There are some great comments here. Down out Nashville says Trump's been sending millions of illegal immigrants back by handing them $1,000 and a free flight home. Simple plan, but it seems working. I mean, that's a bargain, right?
It's a lot cheaper than to have to us. Oh yeah. And imagine in the U.S., it's not, the social services are not as accessible.
No.
So
we should pay him $5,000. Give him $5,000.
It's probably a lot cheaper in the long run, like a lot
of money. And I get a feeling the reason it works down there is because it's that, but it's paired with the fact that Trump's aggressively deporting people, right? If he wasn't aggressively deporting people to like terrible,
there wouldn't be any consequences.
And they wouldn't care. It's only $1,000. But now they're thinking, okay, if I stay, I might get sent to some like El Salvadorian prison or even just sent back to my home country. But once they kick you out, you can never come back legally, right? But maybe with this thing, you say, okay, guys, if we don't, we'll give you some sort of amnesty in the sense that if you show up, we'll give you $1,000, give you a plane ticket, and we'll pretend you were never here. You can now come back and apply, not illegally. You can apply to come back in. Of course, that application is going to sit at the bottom of the pile for a real long time. But you
shouldn't even consider them. You shouldn't even consider them because that's another thing.
But I'm just thinking to be practical, to get them out.
No. If your name's identified as you were deported, it's all electronically done now. So you just bar that name, prevent them from applying.
That's what it is. If they deport you, I wonder if what Nashville here is talking about is considered a deportation. If you come forward, you get $1,000 and a plane ticket. I wonder if they consider that a deportation, or if I
would. You were there legally. At the end of the day,
I know.
I'm going to break but I'm going to break the law. And then after you're saying, if you show up, the consequences would be lesser, which is pretty much what the court does. I show up, but they're like, oh yeah, high five, no problem. You showed up, it's okay. No.
I know what you're saying is correct, but I think the other side of the argument would be like, okay, but we'll get a lot more people out if we do it the other way. Because if you say,
you don't need to tell them, you just apply.
Well, they're going to figure it out sooner or later.
Who cares? They're not citizens.
But like the first few that leave are going to tell all the ones that are back here and be like, yeah, don't take this deal kind of thing. But I'm not saying you have to accept their application. Just give them a bit of hope and then just throw it in the bin when you get it.
This is just too much resources that most countries don't have to spare. Man, it looks like we're going to talk about immigration today because
Look.
Remember yesterday I shared this article from Juno claiming that over 500,000 new permanent residents expected by end of year, and I told you that the math don't math.
Mm-hmm.
So turns out that I was accurate because even Pierre Poilievre, he posted this yesterday, just showing. Hold on, let me show this. Bang bang. So Pierre Poilievre showed this, basically saying the same number as I was showing yesterday. So 2025 permanent resident target 395. It seems like there's already been 207,000 permanent resident issued in the first 6 months. So that's 414. That's above, but it's not the number. It's not over 500,000. It was more, like I was saying yesterday, in the low 400. Not saying that it's right. That is not what I'm saying. I thought it was interesting that he posted that yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much what I was saying. So don't believe everything that you see online, folks. It doesn't mean that it's true.
No, but you can believe everything you see here because we will correct ourselves if we're wrong.
Yep. We definitely will.
Alberta Nan, some good advice here. Cut off all assistance for temporary and illegal immigrants. I mean, this should be a no-brainer. A no-brainer. Illegal? Yep. Why are we giving any assistance to illegal? They are here illegally. Offer $1,000 to leave the country. If you can't support yourself as a non-citizen, you should not be in the country, draining our resources. I mean, and the thing is that's just such an easy solution. You could, with the stroke of a pen, tomorrow, next week, they could just, all you have to do is cut off social services to people who are not paying into them and don't belong here in the first place and should never be getting them. And they will leave because they don't have the ability to, and yes, offer a free plane ticket home. Make sure they leave, and even throw in $1,000. You're going to save a buttload of money.
I saw somewhere you should. Did you? I think they were calling it alien versus illegals.
Okay.
Give a chance to aliens to fight people that've done something illegal, like pedophiles. So you want to stay in Canada, you need to catch a pedo.
One pedo for one
pedo for your permanent residency.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I agree, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Logan White says, why should we give refugee status just for them to leech off of our services? Make them work or make them walk back home. That's another thing. Look, there's no reason at all. What's the latest wait list?
Let's cut that for a second because I got some new numbers that appeared yesterday.
Okay.
I just wanted to show one more thing before we get there, but that was definitely the next thing. Because obviously this is something that we spoke about. I've shared the numbers before, but I wanted to show this woman I don't know how the hell I missed this video, but that was posted 4 days ago. This is Daniel Smith on immigration.
No, we had an immigration system we were also proud of because it was working so well up until the most recent couple of years. If we could just go back to having a more normal number of newcomers coming into the country, like 1% even, we would bring down the social tension and we would be able to accommodate everyone who came.
Yes.
And so this is the issue. It's a matter of numbers. So if we had 1% of the population per year coming to Alberta, that'd be about 50,000 a year. We've had 450,000 come in the last 3 years. This is the reason why people are feeling like we might have a little bit of problem at the federal level with the numbers that are coming into the country. It is not an anti-immigrant sentiment. It is a matter of what is the right level and what can we absorb. I know.
Bye.
And she is. I just really like her, man. She just hits the nail on the head. Yeah, she's my political crush too. She just hits the nail on that, and she's doing exactly, in my opinion, the way we should be doing it. Make sure no one's anti-immigrant. Nobody cares what color their skin is. It's the number of people. It wouldn't matter where they are from. Although it wouldn't hurt us to get some people who are from similar cultures either. But I mean, put that to the side for now. It is a numbers issue. You could bring in 400. Alberta could take in 450,000 of the best people in the world. It's still going to be a tax on infrastructure. It's still going to shoot housing prices really high. It's still going to raise the cost of groceries, especially when the economy is stagnating. Now, because what that means with a stagnant economy is now we have much more people to share the same size pie. If the pie grew proportionally, then it wouldn't be as much of an issue. It would still be issues in other ways, but just economically. So it's terrible policy all around. Just terrible. And we can change it if we want to. And if they're not going to change it, when it's obvious how bad the problems are, then I'd start to lean into, where you guys are trying to drag me. These motherfuckers must be doing this on purpose because there's just no other explanation.
There are no other explanation as to what they're doing because they're doing it on purpose. There's no questions about it.
Yes.
Zero questions about it. But I wanted to show this because this popped on my feed yesterday and it kind of lines up with what we're talking about. But breaking new data shows that there are 291,975 asylum claimants in queue, a 2,800% increase between 2015 and 2025. And those numbers are pretty accurate because remember, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. The numbers are worse than that because there was like 100,000 left application from 2023 that leaked into 2024. So you add that on top of it. And I had all the calculation as to how much this costs the system to do that because this ain't cheap, right? Mm-hmm. We have to handle this. And the thing that most people don't understand is when it comes to asylum seekers, they have to apply at a port of entry.
First country.
No. Forget that. They need to do it in person. This cannot be done from a different country. Yeah. You have to be here. So those 300-ish thousand people came here. How the fuck do they come? We're not in the middle of Europe here.
Just by our geography, there should be 5,000 people. There's just no need. Well,
how did they get here?
Yeah. I think a lot of them are coming from the States, but that means that they were in the States, which means the asylum laws are you have to go to the first safe country. So they had to apply in the States, and they did. But a lot of these people are fleeing America, right? They're illegal immigrants, and that's the asylum claim. They'll send me back. And our moron leaders, those people will probably lose when they do go to the refugee or the asylum courts. But by then, right, they've been here for 3 years. Probably, they've sucked $150,000, $200,000 out of the government. So even if they get sent back, they had a sweet 3-year paid vacation, right? So they don't care. There has to be a mechanism where we do like a triage or a preliminary, be like, no, you don't even get to go in the queue. Like you hit the bricks, pal.
This is, here you go. Those are the numbers I shared a few weeks back. When was that? Almost a month ago. So Canada received 173,000 asylum claim in 2024, more than 250,000 that was already pending by the end of 2023. So you're looking, our system had to handle almost 400,000. Like it's absolutely, when you look at those numbers, it's absolutely insane. But hold on. The average claims wait time for a first level immigration, which is most of them, is 17 to 24 months, with some cases taking up to 2.5 years. And because, like I said, asylum seekers must be physically in Canada or at a Canadian port of entry, Canadians are on the hook to provide for them as they await judgment. It's estimated that asylum seekers have cost Canadians taxpayers between $6.5 to $7.1 billion
that alone
in 2024.
That alone probably would fix our entire healthcare system. You know what I mean? Like, how many doctors is that? How many hospitals is that? And it's,
instead they're here taking advantage because they get access to our social services.
They get immediate access. They stay here for free. And like I said, most of them probably will be denied because these are not legit claims.
Doesn't matter.
We don't have a mechanism to just, and many of these are on their face fraudulent claims. We don't need to see a judge when you can just have an immigration officer just, okay, give me the facts. What are you fleeing from? Fucking poverty? You're India? No, that's a stable democracy. It may be poor, but that's not what asylum's for. Hit the bricks. Logan White says, and this, you should try to find this out because this is actually, I'd be very curious. He says, asylum seekers, where are they from? Better not be India. Yeah, India is not a country at war. There's not a civil war. There's not a genocide going on. It's poor for some people. That's not a reason for asylum. Asylum is not to flee poverty, period. It's if your house is destroyed in a genocide or an act of war. And based on, the state of the world today, what there's one hot war, right? Russia, Ukraine. You've got a few probably hot spots around the globe, but there's no reason whatsoever, especially where Canada is geographically. We should have more than 5,000 people in a queue right now, period, for asylum. So when you see a number like 291,000, I don't need to know anything else to know that there's massive fraud going on, and we're paying for it. Like you said, 7 billion per year. Is that per year?
Yeah. No, those you will not find those calculations anywhere. I made those calculations by doing the research in the back end, as in how much are the employees of IRCC paid, how much does a claim cost, how many people shows up, how long do they take. So I had to do a lot of that research because those numbers don't appear anywhere. But to answer, I don't remember who asked, but to answer the question, as per what I'm seeing right now, the top 3 places of origin for asylum claims are India, Nigeria, and Bangladesh in 2024.
I don't, that's bullshit. Bumpy says, Bumpy says, India has many issues to claim asylum for. India is far from a stable democracy. And maybe stable democracy is a bit strong, but I do not agree that they have many issues. Like what? Specifically.
If they want to apply
tribal battles that they're fighting each other, that's not our problem. It's not.
The point in the matter is, asylum seekers are supposed to be people that are pretty much dying. They're at war. They're being prosecuted, and they're being executed left, right, and center.
Yes, and a real risk. Not
but
like
being poor, no, that's immigration. Yeah. You could come here to become a permanent resident and do it the right way. Sure, but it's not asylum seeker.
No,
that's not what it's for.
And even like fear of death, it's not the fear of death. Like, I live in a violent city and the crime rate is high,
or
so I'm for my life.
Or I'm a trans in the U.S. Remember that one? I'm a trans in the U.S.
Non-binary.
No.
Oliver Ruff says that 80K up front to new arrivals violates the 10K limit on Canadian funds. To be fair, I don't think they get 80K. It's just that's what it costs us. It's what it costs the government every year is $80,000. I mean, at the end of the day, what matters is what it costs us, not really how it's done. But yeah, so do the math. 291,000 times 80,000 a year. That's a whole lot of money.
There was a great question here. Maybe we can use that to get to do a segue to the next, because Mr. Doctor, what's going on, bro? He's saying maybe a topic for later. Yeah, later as in right now. But what do you guys think about Carney's Canadian boots on the ground in Ukraine thing? We talked about it yesterday, which Rob and I both agree that it's not our business to be there. And, we were saying yesterday that even if it was our business to be there, do we even have the money to do it? Do we even have the resources to do it? Do we have the military force to do it? Funny enough, I found a video. I didn't watch it yesterday, but it's being shared all over the place. It's I found an expert that was on CTV News yesterday to talk about this. And supposedly that even if we wanted to, we can't afford, we don't have the resources to do it. So not only what I was saying yesterday about the Juno numbers, I'm like, those numbers don't add up. Poilievre made the real, showed pretty much the numbers I came up to. So we were right then. And it turns out that when we were talking yesterday about, can we, even if we agree that this should be done, which we don't, can we even do it? And it seems that we can't. So that's for you, Mr. Doctor.
Context. Christian Leuprecht is standing by. He's a military analyst, senior fellow at the Macdonald-Laurier Institute and the Center for North American Prosperity and Security. Good to see you, Christian, on this Monday. Your take on this visit by Mark Carney to Ukraine, Poland, and eventually to Germany.
Well, look, our big announceable on this visit was that we signed a customs agreement with Ukraine. And we re-announced the drones that we had already announced on the occasion of the G7. This is why Canada is not being taken seriously. We may make these types of commitments. These are places that, spending commitments that we might get to. We might grow the Canadian Armed Forces. I do think the Prime Minister has a serious commitment, but it's telling that the Prime Minister, of course, is traveling alone. There's no other European leaders there with him in Ukraine. He was not there at the White House with 7 other European leaders backing Zelensky. It suggests that we have a very large lag to make up for, to show that indeed Canada is a country that should have a voice at the table.
What more would you like to see?
A recommitment to the foreign policy instruments in this country. The way I always sum this up is we've been fighting against the terrain. We should be able to shape the terrain. We shaped the terrain significantly in the aftermath of the Second World War and into the 1950s and 60s, realizing that ultimately we needed to assert our interests. In this very volatile world, it seems to me that we're constantly reacting. And the reason that we're reacting is that we have become significant on the radar of our allies for what we're not doing or not able to do. And so I always like to term the Prime Minister's commitment, the Prime Minister's investment is actually to make sure that Canada is significant by its insignificance, that we can actually do things, because we might not be conspicuous by our presence, but we are very conspicuous by our absence.
And this kind of a trip, is that part of trying to change the narrative, Christian, about Canada by Carney going in person to these places, trying to shore up some of these relationships?
Conspicuous by our absence?
Under the previous Prime Minister.
There's no.
Well, I think the narrative is largely for domestic consumption at home, to see what the wonderful things are that Canada is doing. I think what our allies want to see is actually real commitments, real engagement, real spending, real capabilities by Canada. And we can talk about possibly committing troops to some security guarantees in Ukraine, but these are zero-sum games because these troops are currently committed elsewhere. And we've had an organization that has been undercapitalized, underfunded, with atrophying capabilities and atrophying staffing. So the Prime Minister is right. He's making a generational investment in the organization, but it will take quite some time to turn this organization around where it can perform the sort of political expectations that Canada has for its armed forces. It just doesn't have the resources and capabilities within those armed forces to come through. And I think it'll be telling how his meeting with Chancellor Merz goes in Germany. But of course, Merz has been to the White House repeatedly, has never felt it necessary to make a stop in Canada. That alone is telling, and he's making the Canadian Prime Minister show up in Berlin. We'll see whether the Chancellor, who's really the kingmaker in terms of European foreign policy, whether the Prime Minister is able to convince him that Canada really does matter. And that'll require a significant U-turn also on policies such as energy resilience.
Thinks of us.
But he made a very good point, though. One, he's kind of proving our point from yesterday that we don't have the resources to do so, but we are significantly insignificant. That's what he said. I'm like, God damn, that's pretty good. But you know, there's something wrong when even CTV News has an expert to say that we don't even have the resource to do it. We don't have the military force to do it. We cannot do what we're doing. And I love the fact that he pointed out that, oh, funny enough, we need to go to Europe to speak to those people, because when they come to the White House last week, they don't even visit. They don't even come up to Canada. They just go back to Europe. We weren't invited in the conversation with Zelensky at the White House.
But they'll take our $4 billion, but that doesn't even buy a seat at the table, man. But this guy's also
$1 billion plus a $2 billion.
This guy's
don't call it 4. It's 4.3 billion that Mark Carney already promised, and he promised another 2 billion this week or yesterday or Sunday. That makes it $6.3 billion promised to Ukraine over the past few months by Mark Carney.
Yeah, but now this guy's also advocating for Canadian troops in Ukraine. So
of course,
yeah.
All liberal people, by the way, they're all going to be purple-haired, and all the sons and daughters.
The troops. Send you purple-haired freak. You go there
and your kids
go in the trenches. Yeah,
I want to see Carney's son/daughter going and fight.
Yeah,
you know, there's honestly, somebody this morning.
There should be some law like that. Every time a politician,
their sons go first.
Yeah.
I saw there was a comment on, I think it was on YouTube this morning. I woke up to that, and the person is basically saying that we need to help them. I'm like, you know what? No problem. You and I disagree on the fact that the Canadian Armed Forces should be involved. But just so you know, Ukraine accepts foreign fighters. So if you do want to go help Ukraine, they will take you in their army. So time for you to shut the hell up and to put actions behind those words. I'm just saying, you don't need to wait for the army. Zelensky will take you.
Yeah, they'll take
he will take you.
In the Azov battalion. You might come back a Nazi, though. So there is that. Yeah, I mean, just what did he say? We're conspicuous by our absence. Now, no one's sitting there in the Donbass thinking, "Oh, where's the Canadians?"
No, they know where the Canadians are. They're elbows up somewhere else.
Yeah, elbows up. Yeah, elbows up, balls deep.
Oliver Ruff is saying that Zelensky's an actual actor.
Yeah,
he is.
He is.
And I would argue, I posted about that yesterday. I call Zelensky the highest paid actor in the world. He was able to make $200 billion in the past 2 years. That is quite the actor right
not
here.
Wrong. I mean, like quite literally, he probably is the highest paid actor in the world.
He is 100% the highest paid actor. Even if you don't think that he's acting right now, he used to be one. So he is the highest actor. He is acting. He is acting. Don't get me wrong.
That is his profession. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Mr. Doctor says, does that $2 billion count towards our NATO contribution? Even I don't believe it does. No.
It was about help to Ukraine. It's part of that league of the willing, whatever the fuck.
The coalition of the willing.
The league. They should have called it. They're all European. They should have called it the League of the Willing.
Yeah. There's often a lot of misunderstanding about the NATO contribution. It's not money given to NATO. It's money that needs to be spent on our own military. In
order to match the commitment.
Yeah, it's like 5%, I think now.
5% of GDP.
It used to be 2. They only moved it up to 5.
Because of Trump.
That's probably Carney's plan. He's like, I'll tank the GDP so we don't have to spend as much, because 5% of a lower GDP, right?
5% of nothing is not a lot of money.
Right. It's always thinking. But yeah, and I mean, Canada has no business sending troops to Ukraine. We just accept that we're not a global superpower, and that's perfectly fine. We don't need to be. But like, it doesn't matter what Europe thinks of us. If we're invited to the cool kids table, it does not matter unless you're spending lots of our money trying to get at the table. Then it matters.
You know, down and out Nashville, I agree with you. No offense, but I don't think Russian is going to be scared of Canadian military, and I don't think they would. And that's with the utmost respect. And
They would target us.
I know a lot of military guys, and they know they would agree with that. So,
listen, our military is not meant to be a standalone military. It's meant to be attached to the United States military as an appendage. Like they'll be like,
we're the balls to their penis.
Yes, yeah, like in a large scale war, our roles will be like, oh yeah, you guys go take that spot up there, just defend that. We're not meant to be a military by itself. And the fact of the matter is, the Ukrainian military, which is better equipped and is battle hardened, is far better than ours. So if the Russians are there and they're planning an offense, and you've got the Ukrainians over here and the Canadians over here, who do you think they're going to, go after? The weak spot, right? That's us.
Probably the people showing up in the wrong camo. Do you remember when we first showed up? I think it was in Iraq. People showed up. Afghanistan, they're in green.
The green CAD pad. Oh shit! We're in the desert.
There's a lot of trees in the desert.
Yeah.
they probably gonna show up to Ukraine in blue.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Black. Space Force.
I like this one because with the utmost respect for the military, I agree. Canada's the little brother of the prom king quarterback. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I've said this so many times but there's that we've said it many times where that we're like the annoying little brother. Like we're kind of starting. We don't have we didn't used to ever start shit. Like we're not the ones that's going to start poking other countries. But it seems like Carney's doing it right now.
We're the guy, like our older brother will get in a fight and kick the guy's ass, and then we run up when he's down and we hit him and be like, "Yay, I helped!" Yay!
Yeah. I gave him water as he was fighting.
Yeah. Like
the water boy. We are the water boy of the star quarterback.
Yeah, that's right. Logan White says,
we're Bobby Boucher. Bobby Boucher.
Yeah. Logan White, if we lose against Russia, the USA is going to come up and clean house. I don't think any of this is going to happen. We're not going to go to Russia. The USA is also not going to invade us. Like they're, for better or for worse, for all like the as annoying as we are, there's zero appetite. Even in like, it's a non-thing. Like that. It's not a game of Risk where you just go around attacking countries for funsies.
See what happens.
Yeah, exactly. There'd be no benefit because we're just gonna we're more of a benefit up here because now they've kind of got us in the screws. We can't sell our energy to anyone else. They get a huge discount. They don't need to own the means of production. Though it will probably cost them more money if they actually had to operate it. Now they just buy cheap oil.
There was a great quote. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Rollerball. It's from like 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
The French guy, I actually love that actor. He's basically saying to the main actor, he's like, I don't need to own the mines. I own the guy that owns the mine. That is exactly what I'm thinking.
Yes, exactly.
Child 101. I don't need to control I don't need to control the country. I just need to control who prints the money.
And that has been American foreign policy throughout since World War II. Like, make no mistake, America is an empire, a global empire. It's not like the Roman Empire where they actually conquered the territories and made them Roman. America didn't need to do that. They didn't need to go and conquer the rest of the world. They just built an empire while staying in their own borders because they still owned those countries. And they had all the benefits of ownership, of colonization, without any of the downsides. That's been American geopolitical strategy and policy since World War II. That's what we call the post-World War II world order. And that is the system that is collapsing now. It's kind of a slow motion collapse, but it will be interesting to see what takes its place. And I suspect it will be some sort of Chinese-led world order.
Brick.
Yeah.
Brick.
Yeah.
Through BRIC.
Social credit scores for everyone.
How
You
about
get a
through
social credit
through
score.
BRIC?
You get a social credit score.
But BRIC is going to be.
Yep.
I think they're moving it to the yen, so it could be extremely problematic. Like BRIC could be extremely problematic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a great game going on, and it's essentially Cold War 2.0, but it's kind of being played behind the scenes. And I don't think even America is aware that they're in it. China certainly is. China knows what's going on.
No, I think America knows. It's just there's not a lot of solutions to the problem because normally, if you look, it's about an 80-year cycle.
Yeah,
the last one before World War II. Before World War II was the UK that was the world superpower. That's their currency that was used. Now it's the US, so it's meant to switch 80 to 120 years old if you go through the history.
Interestingly, like even when the country loses a lot of its power, just because these things, there's certain inertia built into them, it doesn't change overnight. Like you said, the sterling or the pound was the world's reserve currency until World War II. But America had taken over, had bypassed the UK probably by World War I at least, but for another 20 years or so, just because, these things, like, they get baked in and don't change overnight. So even though you can make the argument China is the more powerful when you consider all things considered.
Economy wise,
and it's just right now the dollar is coasting on the sort of the last thing, but like the die has already been cast.
I wanted to address this one because this is basically where we're
Are they
saying,
still
like,
out?
Of course they are. They're still on summer vacation. They're not coming back until it's either September 15th or 20th. Some people are saying 15th, so I think that's correct. So they must have left on June 20th and they were coming back on September 15th. So everything that you're seeing right now, and this is one of the problems that I'm seeing, is you have a guy like Carney that's traveling the world right now, promising some stuff left, right, and center outside of Parliament where nobody can question him. And I agree with Mr. Doctor saying, when is the Parliament going to get back together? September 15th.
Yeah.
Is Carney just going to rule from behind the scene forever?
Yes.
Because that's a thing, right? That was not voted on.
No.
Parliament is closed. How is he capable of making those decisions?
How many days have they been in session?
Like 25 this year
in total since April.
No, since December 18th, 2024, they've been in session for give or take 25, and they will be less than 100 by the end of the year. I post about this stuff all the time. I just can't remember the numbers by heart. But it's something like 25 to 30 days that they sat in Parliament. It was between the end of April when he became Prime Minister to June 20th, from memory. They left for summer vacation. So nothing like working for a month and having to go on vacation.
On an Ottawa vacation?
Well, no, he's traveling Europe. So arguably he's taking a vacation from Canada.
Yes.
He's definitely not addressing our lack of trade deal with the U.S. That's for damn sure. Talking about the U.S., how about we change the topic here, because I just wanted to show this. This is just, again, I think this ties up with what we were talking about earlier with the LCBO stuff, where people are not seeing consequences for their actions. This is the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, him saying that we cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. It's racist. Listen to this.
We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence.
Yeah, you can.
Tried that, and we've ended up with the
largest lock up violent people
in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. The addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down. We cannot incarcerate.
Yeah,
this is so ironic. This is so ironic, though. Do you get what he's saying? He's basically saying that it's black people
putting black people. I mean, that's the other thing.
But that's what he's saying, that it's racist to incarcerate criminals. But it would only be racist if they're black, because if they were white, it wouldn't be racist. So you're basically saying that your biggest problem that you have are black criminals. But that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, that's the entire basis of all DEI woke left mindset, is that every race but white people are inferior and cannot ever be expected to uphold the same standards that white people do. So they have to be given special treatment and privileges because they are inferior. That is when you connect the dots, that's where woke left DEI mindset leads. What do they say? The soft bigotry of low expectations. And that's exactly what it is. Everything you said there is wrong. We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. Yeah, you can. As long as you're incarcerating the violent people. Make no mistake, like, nobody thinks anyone's skin color should matter whatsoever when it comes to being incarcerated. But if there's a lot of, say, black people that are incarcerated, if it's because a lot of the crimes are being committed by black people, that's perfectly fine. That's completely reasonable. Now, while you're locking those people up, if you want to try to address why that is, sure, fill your boots. But you lock up the violent criminals first and foremost, period. And yes, that does bring down violent crime. This guy's an idiot.
It's the irony of his statement is incredible. It's racist to arrest them and incarcerate them because they're black. That's what you're saying. So you're basically admitting that your crime problem is committed by black people, but arrested them is racist.
It's actually racist to not arrest
them
criminals
because they're black.
Just because they're black, right? So I mean, all of far left woke ideology, once you circle the drain, it just folds back on itself and is actually the exact thing that they're claiming to be against.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I mean, that's all.
But that guy's insane. The type of bullshit that comes out of his mouth is absolutely insane. Bumpy's saying, "Fuck this guy. Watch RRR." No,
Bumpy's really Bumpy's a producer of RRR. He's like the distributor.
He has investments in it, or he's part of the movie. But he was talking about that yesterday. I'm like,
he was talking about weeks ago too.
Yep.
Is the movie called RRR, or are you? Is it?
Just Google it. No, Google it. It's a massive Indian movie.
Okay.
I just can't stand those dancing, flying through the sky.
Oh, is it one of those Bollywood?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's what it looked like.
Naughty Johnny.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with those movies. I like Indian food, but that movies, no.
Okay, so what is it? Why are we watching it? Is it like ridiculous? Because I've seen some ridiculous action scenes on, like, guys are like, grabbing helicopters and throwing them, or like doing like just crazy things.
Okay, I'll just show you just to humor you here. There you go. So those are all the things. So you can see, like, just here.
I feel like I've seen this movie. I haven't actually seen this movie, but I've seen this movie. Like, isn't this like all of them? It certainly looks like all of them.
No, but look at this. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, just from the cover, you're like, yeah, sure.
What is the point, though, Bumpy, of watching? Like, is there a deeper political meaning? Like, I see that you say it's the most populous film you ever watch, but like, is it in what way?
Clearly, that guy's gonna fight a lion.
Bumpy says check out the trailer. You want to put the trailer on or what?
No.
Okay.
No, because this is copyrighted. So if I start posting that, they're gonna take down the. They're not gonna allow me to the stream. So no. You have to be very careful about what we show on here. That's why everything I show has the logos. I show it from the place that it was. It's not mine. So no. I cannot show Family Guy episodes like we used to do. That's why I stopped doing it, because every time I do, they demonetize the actual video itself.
Yeah,
because it's copyrighted and I can't make money off of something else. So clearly this is going to be copyrighted too. But just out of principle now, I'm saying no.
That
just
works.
Because it's Bumpy asking, I'm like,
Bumpy,
I'm like a child. I like, if you ask me to do something, and I'm like, no.
You're not the boss of me.
You ain't the boss of me. We have a guest in like 5 minutes, by the way.
Shit. Okay, let's just take some comments then until then.
No. I wanted to show something first. There's one more I wanted to show, because this is right in our wheelhouse. We've been talking about this for weeks, ever since we saw Judith Curie. Alberta is seeking public input on establishing nuclear power industry. I'm telling you, bro, I'm just like,
all she does is win, no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah.
All I do
So
is win.
that's it. Just let's play this video, and then we will get to Julian. What's going on, Julian?
We got the bugs guy.
We talked to the bugs guy.
The bugs
Yes.
guy.
So hold on. Let me play this video, and then we'll take Julian.
We need to consider all types of generation technology to power our province. For years, our government has been eyeing nuclear power as just the thing we need to expand our energy capacity. And we're not alone in this. Governments around the world are giving nuclear energy some long overdue consideration. Our own government has signed agreements with Saskatchewan and Ontario to cooperate on developing nuclear energy and supply chains. We're also exploring what's possible with small modular reactors, cutting-edge technology that can be built faster and for lower startup costs than conventional plants. Frankly, there's a lot to like about nuclear. It's efficient, low cost in the long run, and long-lasting. Now, those are points in its favor, but two qualities in particular set nuclear apart from other energy sources. It's almost completely emissions-free, and it's incredibly reliable, producing abundant baseload power 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We know it's a polarizing topic that stirs up emotions, and we want to proceed thoughtfully. We want to give Albertans a say in developing the path forward. We want to know what people think, what opportunities they see, and what concerns they may have. So today I'm happy to announce the creation of a panel that will engage with people across Alberta, including Indigenous communities, industry experts, and other community partners
Even Danielle
to
has
explore
to
the
kiss the
potential
ring.
for a nuclear energy industry in Alberta. The panel was appointed by Minister Neudorf, and it will be chaired by Parliamentary
This nuclear
Secretary
power
Dion.
plant
Our
is
expert panelists
owned by
You know what?
Indigenous.
We'll con it right there because I have to stop that one. But
Yeah,
she seems to be doing
everything she just sounds so reasonable. So
how dare she be so common sense? How dare she?
You know what is so refreshing about her, and it occurred to me as I watched her. I think she's the only politician I can think of. I can't think of one other one who it seems like she just does what she thinks is the best thing for her constituents. That's it. Like that's
how
really
dare
it.
she?
Yeah, like
how dare she?
it just actually, like, most of the problems or most of the solutions to our problems are actually not that hard to solve. I mean, they're hard because the politics make it hard, but like, okay, you want to talk climate change? Even if you're the biggest believer in the climate change narrative, the fucking 100 nuclear power plants across the world, problem solved. Or at least as solved as we're going to be able to get it. I mean, it's not that difficult, man. And like she said, it's contentious. It's only contentious because there's a bunch of idiots who are stuck in the Cold War who hear nuclear and they think, Chernobyl. Yeah, technology's come a long way since then, bro.
So yeah, I just thought it was good because we keep on talking about this ever since we had Judith Curry, and then we seem to have one common sense leader in Canada that will at least explore the idea. And we're talking about the province that has the most oil and gas in Canada too. That's saying, hey, maybe we should look into nuclear.
They'll sell their oil to the rest of the world and then have clean nuclear.
We'll nuclear it.
It's a great point.
Yep, 100%. Hey, Julian, you ready to go? Yeah. So here we are, joined by Julian Figueroa.
Figueroa.
Can we call
like
you
the
bug
opera?
guy?
You can call me the bug guy for this one. I'm trying to escape that trauma, but happy to share the story.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. It's funny enough, we do all of our show lives, right? We always have a shit ton of comments. You'll see them going here. And somebody mentioned you because we're always talking about how the WEF wants us to eat their bugs. And then they're like, hey, there's a dude that ate just bugs for 30 days. You need to have him on. And here you are. That's why I approached you. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty relaxed, chill show here. So feel free to just kind of let her loose and let her hang out. But just kind of get us up to speed. So what made you decide to do this? And then I guess tell us how it went.
All right. What made me decide to do this? I still ask myself that question every day. One of the worst decisions of my life. I'm a big YouTube guy, so like I've seen all sorts of challenges. Yeah, like there's the Super Size Me guy, there's the like training like David Goggins for all that. And of course, like you guys have heard all those like little headlines, they just trickle them out. I think it's like they're just probing and testing people.
Yes.
About, what if we ate bugs, right? Oh, in Mexico they eat them with the beer, and in Thailand, like they sell them on a stick, and it's totally culturally acceptable, and shrimp are bugs anyways. And so just like little tiny bits of like making it okay. And then we started getting really serious headlines out of Canada, like they're opening a massive factory where they're, you know, they're harvesting like large amounts of crickets. And then in the EU in February, they passed this food regulation where they're allowed to put 4% of like wheat, cheese, or you know, pasta content can be mealworm powder. That's as a supplement, wild. Right?
And they don't have to tell you about it, right?
They don't. They can. I mean, they can put it in the tiniest writing, right? No one's gonna.
And
no
it's
one's
a weird
check
word.
All their packages for bugs. Yeah,
I don't know
mealworm.
I don't know what it is, but I think it's not even mealworm. I think it's some weird word, and you're like, oh, that's mealworm. But go ahead.
Yeah. So the big thing that I was looking into is like, okay, we can have this like staunch, ew, that's gross reaction, or we can actually dive into the science of it. And on the surface, it all looks great, right? Bugs, super high in protein. They've got fats, they've got fibers, they take up way less space than a cow, and you can get all the nutrient profiles, et cetera, et cetera. All sounds super great. The taste, well, we'll work with that, right? I mean, you can grind them up into powders. That's basically what I consume for the most part. I had some raw ones for the camera, but I basically ate ground up cricket powder for a majority of my calories. It was just a bunch of shakes, essentially. You know, it's got everything on the labels, right? Tons of protein, tons of fat, tons of fiber. What they don't tell you is that in that fiber, there is this thing called chitin. And chitin is a type of fiber that humans just cannot digest. It's the reason that a lot of people have shellfish allergies, because it's the same thing in shrimp shells and things. And if you start eating lots of it, you develop all sorts of issues, all sorts of like internal inflammation. And I'd really love your audience to like go check out the full video, because it's kind of a trip. It's like a acid trip watching me go through all this. But yeah, sure. Spoiler alert, I got a massive parasitic infection from it. And I don't know actually if the parasitic infection was from chitin or the fact that these things didn't undergo like good food standards, because the last frame of the video is I found that there were like other beetles nesting inside of like the dead carcasses of the crickets that I had ordered. And I don't know, maybe I was like unknowingly ingesting them, but I had this parasite called Cryptosporidium, and I had to take antibiotics for like 2-3 weeks. I lost like 8-10 pounds total. My health took like a massive toll. And my next challenge has been like, let's try and get a 6-pack before I turn 30. And now my diet is ground beef and eggs and fruit. And that's been way better. So
getting a 6-pack before you're 20, before you're 30, you don't have one right now? What the hell, bro?
No, not yet.
What the hell,
I'm sorry. I didn't take my health seriously enough, clearly, right?
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Do you have lasting effect? Because somebody called you the super bug me, or the super bug me. That dude had so many health problems afterwards, and it's ridiculous.
I think he was also unhealthy to begin with, wasn't he? I don't think he was.
No, well, he was with a vegan
Morgan
in the movie,
Spurlock.
so you know, as somebody that was a vegan for a very long time, it is not healthy for you. But did you have long-lasting effect, or outside of that parasite, you're good to go now?
I mean, it made me aware of just like other inefficiencies in my diet. I think, you know, there's been this really big push in the health industry to like pack everything with protein, and I don't know what the deal is with that, but like
to have a 6-pack.
I'm not a carnivore, but I do think that like there's been this really big push. And if you want to get really deep into this stuff, like my background is in Bitcoin and monetary history and like all this stuff. But I mean, are you guys familiar with like WTF happened in 1971?
Get us up to speed. 1971 as it relates to IMF or
so the mother of all conspiracy theories.
Okay. Well, Nico's right about this.
I wouldn't even call it a conspiracy. Basically, the United States, which is the world reserve currency since World War II, was on the gold standard from basically the creation of the Federal Reserve and some of the other notes before that, all the way up to 1971. So every dollar that you had was worth like a fixed amount of gold. And that fixed amount changed a little bit, but it was essentially pegged. They tried to peg it as much as they could. In 1971, what happened is as the war in Vietnam became a lot more expensive for the US, countries like France and the UK started calling America's bluff. And they said, hey, you guys are like financing this war, and you apparently can back every dollar you have with gold, but like we're starting not to believe that. So we're going to go and pull some of our gold out of your vaults. And it caused this kind of like run on the banks in America, and it essentially forced Nixon to take the US dollar off the gold standard. Yep. And so immediately what happened is there was massive inflation after that, like in all sorts of commodities. But if you go to this website, it's called WTF Happened in 1971. You can see that it's not just that inflation happened, a whole bunch of other things, tertiary effects from disconnecting money from something that was like a grounded physical commodity, caused on lifestyles. Childhood obesity started to rise. Why was that? Because the cost of food was getting so expensive. Americans had this like really beef-based diet, and they couldn't find a cheaper, a way of producing beef. So they started putting suggestions into the food pyramid of people to eat way more corn and way more soy. And they started pushing chicken on people's diets. And you can go back to the 50s and 60s and you can see beef, chicken, kind of like steadily growing in Americans' diets. And then all of a sudden, 1971, beef starts going down, chicken starts going way up, corn starts going way up. And go through this website, it'll blow your mind, but it's essentially, it documents how once we unlinked, and that's part of my documentary, once we unlinked money from this physical standard, government scrambled to find a way to hide the growing cost of food from the public, because they know that, the creation of every riot, the French Revolution to, go back to the Roman times, has all been over the rising cost of food. And now we have, technology and propaganda and new farming techniques to just fill people's slop trays with increasing slop. And bugs are the next part of this. Bugs are very cheap protein sources. So they say. They actually aren't really for me. That was a very expensive diet.
Was it really, eh?
Oh, yeah. It's not like mass market yet. But the idea is that if it catches momentum, it has economics of scale that could get like the cost per gram of protein way cheaper than beef, right? And it just will become something that they push.
So that's actually a super interesting sort of segue there. And I mean,
sorry for the tangent.
No. If you watch the show regularly, you'll see this show. That's all we do. We'll start talking about one thing, and then we're talking about something completely different. So that sort of fits here. And that topic does kind of touch on a lot of the stuff that we tend to talk about here. So what's the name of this documentary that's about this story there?
I don't even know what I named it. I'm trying to get. I was trying to get YouTube views first. So it was one of those like I did the WEF diet for 30 days or something like that. You can find it if you just look up Get Base TV on YouTube. You'll find it. That's my channel.
Speaking of the WEF, did that factor into any? Because a lot of the reason we kind of made that connection is because they're trying to push the crickets and the bugs on up. Now they're not eating the bugs. But they want the peasants to eat the bugs. Do you think this is a sustainable food source for the masses going forward?
It's just never going to be acceptable, like just the optics of it. But my concern is that it becomes a filler, very much in the same way that corn has become a filler for basically everything. And they're going to be able to lobby essentially legislators to not force them to put it on labels. They might have to just put something as small as like a shellfish warning. But this is stuff that you could see supplemented into breads, cereals, like it could be everywhere. And what happened to me, and I said this in the doc, is like I speed ran the infections and the inflammation that you can get from eating these things in large quantities. It took me 30 days to reach like this state where I was like bloated, my eyes were super puffy, I was super low energy. But I mean, give it a couple of years for the regular person, right? That's eating cereal every day that might have like 1 or 2 grams of this stuff in it. And also like shellfish allergies, like when you develop an allergy to shellfish, consuming it, it's a gateway to all sorts of other allergies as well. So
one of the things to keep in mind too is that I was a vegan/vegetarian for for 13 years or so. And I could see this becoming combined with the bugs. Like really on one side, we're going to have those lab-made meats like Bill Gates is proposing it all the time. Then you're going to have fillers like bugs in the bread. But what I find interesting, I'm a conspiracy theorist, like that I should have a diploma for it. But one of the things that it reminds me of is like 1984, the book. As you read the book, you can feel that they're not healthy, right? That everything is hard to get. Like chocolate is a big deal. It's throughout the book, it's a big deal. And that we're at a point where they can fake scarcity. Like people are scared. Like if you don't understand how Amazon has changed the world, they literally tell you, oh, there's only that many left, so you better buy now. Very easy when everything is ordered online to fake scarcity. Is that something you think is going on? You think that's why they're trying to push those cheaper type of products that are not healthy? They know it's not healthy. They fully know it's not. But they're just trying to make us used to it. and then they'll fake a scarcity on the good meat so that it drives us to eat bugs, to eat more vegan crap, to eat that fake meat.
Well, think about this. Like, this is a Canadian-based show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was wondering about this the other day. I was like, why does our meat cost so much here? Like, why is it that I can go down to America and I can pick up like a filet mignon for half the price just by driving over the border and taking it up, even with the currency exchange?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I looked into it, and we're net exporters of beef. So we're paying insane amounts. Like, look at the price that we pay for steak. You know, Alberta might be different, but at least like where I'm in BC, it's ridiculous. Like, it's, you know, $79 a kilogram or $89 a kilogram for like good steak.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, and then ask yourself, like, why are we paying that when we have so much freaking land across the country? Like, are you telling me there's no demand for steak in this country, that we're paying these absurd prices? Maybe transportation's a little bit baked into it, but like, come on, we have all this space to grow, and you know, I know we have seasons and all that, but there is an element of like government coming in and making it prohibitively hard to grow livestock and certain meat sources, and like we shouldn't be importing like, you know, certain meats. Like, we can grow it all here. And the question you just have to ask is like, why? Like, why is that? Like, what type of food standards are they trying to push? I think food is an amazing control mechanism for the populace. If you want to keep your populace obedient, tired, exhausted, like, just feed them slop. I mean, that's like what you're saying. In like 1984, it's like, you know, I don't want to exaggerate. I don't think, you know, we're living under like a dictatorship, but there's times when you look at certain areas of our lives and it just kind of feels like we're in open air prisons, really. Right? Like, eat your slop, like go to the grocery store and this is what you have, and have your little fun health aisle over there. But like, the meats are not for the working class anymore. Like, it's a luxury to be able to get like a ribeye, which is ridiculous. You know, go to Argentina, some of the poorest people in the world there. Guess what? They're all eating the best beef imaginable. Ask yourself why.
That's an interesting take, especially if you think, you know, it used to be religion that was the opiate of the masses, that was the control mechanism. But now that society, at least in the West, has become more and more secular, you can't use religion anymore. So now
government wants to be the new religion. That's what.
Yes, right. Wokeism.
They want you to worship them.
Yeah. Yep. And you know, the point too about beef, that also makes sense. It's not like it's a crop. Certain crops can only be grown somewhere. You can grow beef anywhere. Put a heated barn anywhere.
But we can have bison, man. They roam the plains all over this country.
I've had bison. It's really good.
They're so stupid. They're
bison?
not a smart animal. Oh no! Literally, you have a herd of bison. You can start shooting, and they don't go.
The natives used to run them off.
They don't go.
Oh yeah,
but they don't go. It's just like they're stupid. You can shoot them one after the other. Yeah. But I'm just looking right now, quick search, and it says that the Canada beef cow inventory has dropped to 3.38 million head. That's the lowest since 1989.
Wow.
So we have the lowest amount of beef cattle.
Meanwhile,
right now,
our population
is exponentially growing. Now, mind you, some of the people that are coming to the country don't eat beef.
No, there's a good. I think there's a lot of arguments to be made in that. I mean, well, we actually did the math yesterday. How many immigrants are coming just from India? I think it was 40% of the total.
What I find is 30 to 33%.
They're not eating beef.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's you can't really ignore that. Back to the cricket thing. How was it? Like, what was it? A flower or were you actually eating like legs in your teeth? And like, was it bugs?
So the two main components. It was crickets. Like, I did eat some other ones just to see what they would taste like, and they are awful. Like, as soon as you go outside the cricket sphere for insects, they are disgusting. Like, they have these.
Are crickets not bad?
No, they just taste like corn chips. Like, they don't really have a essence to them. And then a lot of the time when you buy them, they take the legs off, so you don't really get.
That's good of them.
I'm making it sound great, but the crickets that you have, they're sort of like tiny little corn chips is how I would describe them. And so you can just imagine, like, you ever see those little like tortilla strips and people put them on salads and stuff? That's what I did. I put them on like little Caesar salads and you know, things with vinaigrette, or I'd like throw them in a quesadilla or something, and it just adds crunch to everything. You don't taste it as soon as there's like another food. It just gets instantly overpowered. And then the powder itself, I don't know why the powder is gross, but I got pounds of this cricket powder off Amazon, and I would just put it in like shakes, and essentially I'd put like a banana, blueberries, and all that. And I was just chugging like 2 of those a day. So I was getting my protein, you know, it was like 60, 70 grams of protein just from the shakes. But yeah, they like taste funky and they smell bad. But it was that. And then I remember I made some cricket patties. So I got the ground crickets. I got black bean, onion, mushroom, and I tried to make like a little patty. I took it all the way to LA because we were going to LA for a film shoot during the 30 days. And when in LA, you get In-N-Out Burger. And I went to In-N-Out Burger. I threw out the patty and I put my cricket patty in there, and it was god awful.
I think
yeah,
even,
I mean,
go ahead.
No, that was it.
I think even if it tasted good, I don't know if I could wrap my mind around it. I think knowing, I'd have to just not know. And of course, that's probably what's coming next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did a quick search as you were talking, because I knew that there was, it wasn't mealworm, because they actually just call it mealworm, but I knew there was an insect that had a weird name that's not, and it's actually called Akita. Acheta. That's cricket flower. So if you see Akita on your label, those are bugs.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Oh,
why have you been eating?
No, it's just like, no, I mean, you can just see this, like a little bit of Akita. It's like no one is going to know what that is. If they're legally allowed to call it that, that's crazy.
Yeah, that legally Akita powder is cricket flower. And that's so what you were saying, they're sneaking it into our food supply. It's already happening.
Oh my God.
But yeah. Well, like, you know, like I say, you'll own nothing.
The thing that you can thank your lucky stars on, and to keep track of it, is it isn't really economically efficient right now for them. It is quite expensive. A lot of money has been blown on these startups that, of course, it's government money blown. Can you imagine getting a grant from the government to make processed crickets? Like, who are you? What type of savage are you to take that?
Well, it's probably their buddies too, right? It's the wealthy.
I couldn't live with myself if I took taxpayer money to grow crickets. Jesus.
Oh, I feel like the people who did it, they live to take taxpayer money.
Just little parasites.
41 million in debt. I think the large scale cricket factory in Canada you were talking about, the one in London, Ontario, it just closed its doors. 41 million in the whole. Yeah, it just closed. Something like
surprising.
The thing is, but it's not. This was an experiment by probably a government-funded private entity, but the government doesn't care what it costs at the beginning. It's not their money. No. So this is just the first one. You're going to see that happening. They're going to subsidize it. Just think about our milk industry in Canada, the milk cartel, right? They allow farmers to just dump thousands, if not millions, of gallons.
They force.
No, but that's the point. So they're gonna, that they're gonna find a way to monetize it, and we're gonna flip the bill because it's taxpayers' money at the end of the day. But in the long run, they'll find a way to make it cheap. But as you said, they want us to eat the slop, right? Do you think it's a control thing? Like, let's be honest. If you break it down to the common denominator, I believe it's all about control, and unfortunately, the control is not in our favor.
I would frame it like this. I think a lot of people have the tendency to think that like Klaus Schwab is inside like a giant Sauron-esque tower, and he's like, wow, we shall make them eat the bugs. It's like, that's not how they see themselves. They see themselves, and they wouldn't be doing this if they thought that they were doing malice. Like, they see themselves as trying to help humanity. And I know that like we can look at them and we say they're just spouting bullshit, but like I think that's what they believe. Like, they really believe that they have the right path. There's no like there are ulterior motives in the grand scheme of things, but ultimately, like, it's like Thanos, from the Marvel movies, right? Like, why is he such an interesting villain? It's because like he actually thinks by like mass genocide he's actually solving a problem. And I really think like they snort their own glue. They really do. That's why they go to all these conferences and they talk to each other. Like, why are they spending so much of their time? They could all be vacationing and chilling out. Instead, they're going to these conferences, spreading their own BS to one another because they actually slurp it up. They believe it. It's wild.
Yeah, you're going to fit right in. Like, I'm a conservative. He's a liberal. You being right there in the middle kind of makes sense.
I'm not even the middle, man. I'm like a
you being in the middle of the two us. of the
Of
two
the
of
two
us.
of
I mean,
us,
like
yeah.
physically right now, you're kind of in
Oh,
the
okay.
middle of the
I'm,
both
I'm,
of
I'm,
us.
a
say
pretty, I'm a pretty centrist liberal, pretty moderate. I'm not one of the insane ones.
But
I would say I run a little libertarian for sure.
what I was going to say is that you have something in common with Rob, where you think that it's not done out of
Out of
purpose.
malice.
I don't believe that for 1 second. You just need to read
People
a
don't
book like
go.
this one.
People
Like
don't
you
go
don't. No,
running.
no.
People don't go,
But
people don't run around going like I'm evil. Mwahaha. Like no, it's like they actually think they're righteous, right?
Yeah.
no, but I'm not disagreeing with you. But like I say to Rob all the time, if you look at somebody that is not your equal, what you're doing is not necessarily evil. Like
Yeah.
what
I
Mark
just agree with
Scarney
that.
does. Read his book. He
Yeah.
knows everything that he's talking about today, everything that he's doing is said in his book that he would do. He said it. It's plain and simple. Same thing with Carl Schwab. Just look at what he believes in. He just doesn't see you as an equal. He's not going to do that to the people he sees as an equal. But you and I are not.
They're not eating
are
the
equal.
bugs.
No,
Right?
no.
And
And that's where the difference is. So that's why I'm saying you kind of fit right there in the middle, because I'm on this side. I'm definitely
Yeah.
more on the right side on that
I
one.
mean, and at the end of the day, we agree on the important stuff, that there's a real fucking problem here. And whether it's in just bad policy made by stupid people, or malevolent policy made by evil people, at the end of the day, we have
No, but
we
that
have to
changes
push-
everything.
push.
Intent.
Well, it changes some things, but it doesn't change either one. We got to fight back against it. I mean, that's how I see it. When it's all done, if it ever is, then we can, I guess, figure out what the intentions are and stuff.
Do you think we need to fight this? That's a good point. Do you think that the eating the bugs everywhere? Do you think
Just
that
the
we need to
whole-
do something about it?
Look, I spent, I'm still like a young guy. I put on like 10 years and 30 days, but there's no saving this like there's no saving the beliefs of this country like on a large scale. Really, like if you are tired of this stuff, like just make yourself sovereign, collect a small boat of your friends and family, and just like focus on them. Like it is a fruitless endeavor to try and change the opinion of people in Ottawa or Ontario or Quebec or some of the city people across the country. It's a completely fruitless endeavor. You are going to be just swimming upstream. Just like find the like-minded people and get them all the way there, right? Get the people who are 80% there and get them to like 100% there. And to me, 100% there is like the government is they are thieves. They print money. They steal your time. They devalue it at a moment's notice. That's literally what fiat currency is. Mm-hmm. I have changed all my net worth over the last like 7-8 years into Bitcoin because of that, because they cannot steal my Bitcoin. I can literally store it in my head and travel across the world and no one can take it from me. Tax this, right? Like that's what we need to do, right? And it's like we have technologies. There's cryptography. There's a ton of privacy technologies. These things are very technical, but it's like if you want actual freedom, you can either go and oh, please, Pierre Poilievre, like, free us, or you can go and grab that shit. And there's so many tools and people don't know about it. And that's kind of like my mission right now, is just trying to educate people on it. Like you don't need to live on any of these things.
Do you think
you can live as a cypherpunk and do what you want?
Do you think
I have off-grid property in Canada? That's the ultimate hack. Buy off-grid property in this Canada. The government won't touch you. They don't even know who you are.
Say that again?
Just say that again. Off-grid property in this country. Everyone's like, the housing prices are so crazy. It's like, yeah, if you want to live in one of these like sludgy cities, there's a billion acres in this country, and it's dirt cheap and it's hard to set up. But if you really if this stuff really gets to you and you can't handle it, like that's the move. Take your family, take your friends' families, and do that.
Do you think Western governments will allow, say, like Bitcoin to become? I think they've tolerated it now because it really hasn't penetrated into that mainstream use. There is not that kind of mainstream use case. But I think if that does start to occur, I think you're going to see real crackdowns on it.
There's this misunderstanding that governments can do anything about it. The Chinese Communist Party has tried to ban Bitcoin 29 times. There are still hundreds of thousands of people in China that transact in Bitcoin and move in and out of the country. It's the same thing as saying like governments can stop piracy, governments can stop math, governments can stop gravity. It's like, no, they can't. It's like this is a protocol based on mathematics and consensus that is run globally. There's no seizing it. Now, there's seizing it if you leave your Bitcoin on an exchange. It's not yours. Like, they're just giving you an IOU. But the thing that makes Bitcoin special is like you can literally take full ownership of it the same way that you can take ownership of cash or gold, except it doesn't have a physical footprint, which means you can literally store it in your brain, right? So they can threaten you. They can be like, give us all your Bitcoin, but if you want to go down with the ship, you can go down with the ship and they'll never get it. And there's like a billion ways to secure these things. You can secure Bitcoin. You can put it under a time lock so that it can't be moved until a certain date, and there's no possible way of cracking it. There was a lot of fluff during the trucker convoy because they found some people who had Bitcoin stored in their house, like they had the keys written down on paper in their house, and they were able to go in and grab it. But I mean, that doesn't mean that you have to leave it in your house, right? You can split these things up. You can give relatives in other countries. You can find other Bitcoiners in other countries that you can trust with this stuff. You can dig a hole, put your metal plate in it with the 12 words. Like, there's a billion ways to do this stuff to make it virtually impossible for the government to take it.
People just need to want to do the work, and
it's a big learning curve. Yeah.
No, but it's more than that, because I was just posting about this morning where people now, like, weird example that I'm going to use, but you'll understand where I'm going with this. But New Brunswick right now, just as per this morning, is taking off the wood bans. And the liberal people are like, oh, that we told you, you conspiracy theorist conservative, that this was not here to stay. I'm like, okay, hold on. That woman, Susan Holt, lied to you. She literally went on camera and told you that that's because hikers start fires. And then a couple of days after, the backlash, she's like, oh, yeah, but it's not really what I meant. It's because of the first responders. That's why we did that. It's not about you starting fires. And as I was writing this morning, I'm like, guys, you guys don't understand that you're still backing a woman that lied to you, openly lied to you, admitted to you that you lied, and you're still protecting her. Do you not remember what happened during COVID? It went from 2 weeks to flatten the curve to, oh, you're going to need a vaccine to go to the restaurant. And people are just like, oh, I don't understand. Oh, it's okay. It's a necessary evil. So I agree with you. Trying to convince those people that they need to move all of their assets to cryptocurrency, hide their 12 words so that nobody can take it away from them, you're asking a lot, right? So the average person will never,
I am, but I'm just saying, this. Like, there's, but like, think about this, right? Like, and I don't want to like besmirch you guys or your audience, but like our jobs and what you guys do and what your audience does is spend hours consuming media that is telling them and exposing how messed up the state of the world is. This is hours and hours and hours of our life, right?
Yep.
And we are getting increasingly more frustrated and jaded with the system. You can take a fraction of that time and put it into actually learning how to escape the system, and all the stress just disappears after a while. I still get passionate, emotional, because I'm in the same business. Like I do these rants and stuff, but every now and then I try and pause and say, like, let's stop taking the black pill and let's take the white pill. It takes a fraction of the hours, and I have to sit down and I have to learn some math and I have to learn a little bit of cryptography, but dude, I'm not like a rocket scientist. If I can do it, anyone can do it, you know?
But these conversation is where it starts, because most people, even people that are awakened, if you will, or unwoke, as I like to call them, are not necessarily realizing what you're talking about. They probably don't look at a vegan diet and say, ooh, this could be very problematic. So maybe you should learn how to hunt. Maybe you should possess a firearm, even if it's an old school 12 gauge shotgun, so just so that you have something to hunt with.
Well, it's hard, right? Because, like, again, and this is exactly what they want, right? Like, they keep us in debt, distracted, and divided, right? Do you want to go and learn how cryptography and Bitcoin works after you just worked like an 8-hour shift? It's like, no, you kind of want to just like throw on a podcast and like listen and you know, do something a little bit casual and not think too hard about it. But one day you wake up and you're like, fuck this, and you just go and you make the change. And it's just like, people are going to come to it at their own pace. You can't force people. But I think I'm seeing a lot of people, especially in Canada now, that are just like, I don't want to just feel hopeless for the rest of my life. So that's what I say. I say, learn Bitcoin, learn about 1971, learn about all these things. And you'll reveal the problem a little clearer for yourself, but you'll also reveal a whole new set of solutions to it.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, that's great advice. And I think a lot of people are feeling that sort of sense of I guess, malaise or helplessness that you're feeling. And yeah, I mean, I think that's good advice what you're giving. But we try to close right at 2 Eastern time, and I think we might be a little bit over. But Julian, thank you so much for being here. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I
hopefully
really
we can have you
appreciate it,
back at some point. And before you go, very briefly, what's next for you?
What is next for me? I'm actually launching a show this Thursday all about relearning economics and finance and all that stuff, all the nonsense that we've been told about central banking and money printing and all this stuff, stimulus checks and taxes. I'm breaking it down in a fun way. It's called at youtube.com/@the-exit-manual.
Okay.
Trying to make a little Bible on how to
Nice.
get over all this stuff. But yeah, that's the one. And then my main channel is called @GetBaseTV. We're like a media company. It does a lot of like Bitcoin education. We've gone to like 10 different countries to explore people living just on Bitcoin. Some of them like in the mountains in Peru, some of them in like the slums in Guatemala, but they make it work. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out. But Nico, unless you had anything else?
No, man, thanks for answering me because we don't know each other, but I got a feeling we're going to record some more in the future.
That would be lovely. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate it,
that's a
dude.
lot of fun.
Yeah. You're a conspiracy theorist, so you and I are going to get along.
You and Nico.
Do you lack a bit of hair for being on the
I like to say truth seeker more than conspiracy theorist.
Or even noticer.
You're still young, but I was a truth seeker before there was a term for conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
So I'm that old. So
yeah.
All right, brother. You have a great day.
Thank you for having me. Thanks, guys. You guys do an awesome show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, man.
Hey, have a good one.
Peace.
That was Julian. What's his last name?
The bug guy.
The bug guy.
He said I could call it. He said I could call him the bug guy. I'm calling him the bug guy.
He's the bug guy.
Today alone.
Yeah. Oliver says, like the show. Good job. Yeah, it was a cool chat. It's funny how it's segued more into a Bitcoin thing, but I mean, that's how the show works. Sometimes we go somewhere.
That's his thing. That's his thing.
Yeah, I took a quick look over his X and I was like, shit, there's like nothing here about bugs. It's all Bitcoin. So I mean, it makes sense.
No, he's a clever kid. He's a very, very clever kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got he's got an energy about it. Bumpy says, Raja, that like button as we go. Make sure to hit the like button, guys. We are going to put a pin in there for the day. If you are watching the show, if you are not yet a member, please consider becoming one. It's the best way to support us, support the show, support independent media, and help us bringing you this high quality content day in, day out. Other than that, folks, have a great rest of your day. We will catch you tomorrow, noon Eastern time. We got a couple more days at this time slot before we move to 8 p.m. Eastern time, starting this Sunday, 8 to 10. Sunday. And we're going to do Sunday to Thursday. We're not going to do Friday because no one's going to watch on Friday night. But so we'll start the night before, and then we'll head into the week. Other than that, folks, we'll catch you tomorrow.